The night of March 13, 1997, started like any other in Arizona clear skies, a quiet desert evening. But by night's end, thousands of people would swear they had witnessed something impossible. A massive, silent craft gliding over Phoenix, so enormous it blocked out the stars. This wasn't just a few people imagining things. Pilots, police officers, military personnel, and even a former governor all reported seeing the same thing, a gigantic, V-shaped object with glowing lights, moving slowly and deliberately across the sky. The event would become known as the Phoenix Lights, one of the most famous and well-documented UFO sightings in history. But what really happened that night? The first reports came in around 7:30 p.m. from Henderson, Nevada. Witnesses described a formation of lights, arranged in a perfect V, drifting silently southward. Over the next hour, calls flooded emergency lines as the lights traveled across the state line and into Arizona. By 8:15 p.m., Phoenix was buzzing with panic and wonder. People rushed outside, pointing at the sky in disbelief. Some said the object was so large it seemed to stretch the length of several football fields. Others reported that it moved with eerie precision, making no sound as it passed overhead. One of the most striking accounts came from Tim Lay, a respected businessman who was outside with his wife and son when they saw the object. He later described it as a delta-shaped craft with 5 distinct lights, moving so slowly it seemed to defy the laws of physics. Even more compelling, a retired airline pilot named Trig Johnston reported seeing the same thing from his backyard, estimating the object's wingspan at over a mile wide. These weren't people prone to wild fantasies, they were credible, level-headed individuals who couldn't explain what they had seen. Then there was Fife Symington, Arizona's governor at the time. At first, he dismissed the sightings, even holding a press conference where he joked about the incident by bringing out his chief of staff in an alien costume. But years later, Symington admitted that he, too, had seen the object and that it was unlike anything he had ever encountered. He described it as otherworldly, a craft that moved with impossible grace and silence. His reversal only added fuel to the mystery. Of course, the military had an explanation. Officials from Luke Air Force Base claimed the lights were simply flares dropped during a training exercise. They pointed to a second event around 10 p.m., where a 10 Warthog aircraft had indeed deployed magnesium flares over the Berry and Goldwater Range. These flares, attached to parachutes, burned brightly as they descended, creating the illusion of hovering lights. Many of the photographs from that night do show these flares, and skeptics argue that this was the real explanation all along. But here's the problem: the flares don't account for the earlier sightings. The first wave of reports came hours before the military exercise, and witnesses insist what they saw was no flare. It was a solid, structured craft, moving with deliberate control. Some researchers have suggested that the military might have been testing a secret aircraft, perhaps a stealth blimp or an experimental drone. The US has a long history of testing advanced technology in the desert, and it's possible that what people saw was a classified project, not an alien spacecraft. Others believe the Phoenix Lights were a case of mass misperception. When people see something unusual in the sky, the brain tries to make sense of it, sometimes filling in gaps with assumptions. Could a formation of planes, or even distant stars and planets, have been mistaken for a single, massive object? It's possible, but then how do we explain the sheer number of witnesses? Many of them trained observers, like pilots and police officers, all describing the same thing. The truth is, we may never know exactly what happened that night. The Phoenix Lights remain one of the most puzzling UFO cases precisely because there are credible arguments on both sides. Was it a secret military test, a rare atmospheric phenomenon, or something even more extraordinary? Whatever the answer, the event has left an indelible mark on those who saw it and on the broader conversation about what might be out there, hidden in the vast, uncharted skies above us. Decades later, the Phoenix Lights continue to fascinate because they represent something deeper than just a UFO sighting. They remind us that, even in an age of advanced technology and scientific understanding, there are still moments when the world defies explanation. Whether you believe it was aliens, a government experiment, or simply a case of mistaken identity, one thing is certain: on that quiet March night in 1997, thousands of people looked up and saw something they will never forget.
Hey there, if you're enjoying this video and appreciate the effort behind it, don't forget to like this video. It really helps the channel grow, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Oh, and one more thing, share this video with your friends. Spread the love and support. Alright, Now let's get back to the video. Let me know if you want any tweaks.